In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 college football games happening on November 22nd, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Harvard versus Yale, the 141st rendition of the game, brings a fascinating dynamic to the Yale Bowl this Saturday. You have one team entering New Haven chasing absolute perfection, sitting at a pristine 9-0 and looking to cap off a historic undefeated campaign, while the other is navigating a transition year filled with what-ifs. The narrative here starts and ends under center. The visitors bring the Ivy League's premier signal caller, Jaden Craig, who has been nothing short of electric in his senior season. Craig isn't just managing games, he's rewriting the record books, having recently shattered the school record for career touchdown passes. His chemistry with senior wideout Cooper Barkett, who torched this same defense for 169 yards a year ago, is the kind of rhythm that college defenses simply cannot replicate in practice. Contrast that with the hosts, who saw last year's hero, Grant Jordan, transfer to UMass, leaving the offense in the hands of the Brogan McCaughey and Marshall Howe platoon, while running back Josh Pitzenberger remains a bruising threat on the ground for the Bulldogs. The lack of a proven vertical passing attack allows the defense to stack the box and force the issue. The revenge factor is also palpable. The Crimson haven't forgotten the 34-29 heartbreak at home last year, and they are arriving with the superior quarterback and a defense that has fueled a 40-point-per-game juggernaut. When you have a senior quarterback playing at a Walter Camp Player of the Year level against a defense that has lost significant experience in the secondary, the talent gap becomes too wide to ignore. As our first pick for this matchup, Harvard to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. If you like defensive struggles and clock-churning possessions, you might want to look elsewhere because the history and current metrics scream shootout. Last year's meeting produced 63 combined points, and the offensive engines involved suggest we are in for another track meet. The visiting offense is currently averaging over 40 points per game, led by a backfield that includes not just Craig's arm but the explosive running of junior Xavier Baskin, who is averaging over 5 yards per carry. They don't just score, they score quickly. On the other side, the Bulldogs may be retooling, but playing at the Yale Bowl brings a different level of adrenaline. We've seen them get into high-scoring affairs simply by necessity. Trailing early forces them to abandon the run and push the tempo. Furthermore, the Ivy League trend in 2025 has leaned heavily toward offense, with rule changes and spread concepts inflating scores across the board. With clear weather conditions expected in New Haven and a Crimson attack that hasn't been held under 30 points since September, the scoreboard operator is going to be the busiest person in the stadium. We expect the visitors to push the pace to make a statement, and the hosts to scrap for late scores, pushing this well past the projected number. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Missouri versus Oklahoma, the number 22 Missouri Tigers, record 7-3 and 3-3 in Southeastern Conference play, will visit the number 8 Oklahoma Sooners, record 8-2 and 4-2 in Southeastern Conference play, for a ranked matchup on Saturday afternoon. Missouri returned from hosting Mississippi State with a 49-27 win as a 7.5 home favorite. Oklahoma arrived in this spot after a major road victory over 4th-ranked Alabama, winning 23-21 as a 6.5 road underdog. Oklahoma left Tuscaloosa with its most significant result of the season. The Sooners took advantage of 3 Alabama turnovers and held the lead for much of the game. They finished with only 212 total yards compared to Alabama's 406. They converted 3 of 13 third downs and averaged 2.6 yards per carry. Missouri, after dropping 3 of its previous 4 games, handled Mississippi State at home by forcing 3 turnovers and limiting the Bulldogs to 2.1 yards per rush. This meeting marks only the second clash between these programs since Missouri joined the Southeastern Conference in 2012. Missouri won last season's contest at home by a score of 30-23. Missouri enters with a defense that has earned modest attention. The group ranks in the top 15 in yards per play allowed and in third down rate allowed for the season. It also ranks in the top 15 in havoc production and in predicted points added per pass outside garbage time since Week 8. Oklahoma's offense has not shown steady form. The Sooners sit 64th in scoring, 98th in total offense, and 98th in yards per play. Missouri has not handled its biggest tests well this season. The Tigers are winless in 3 games as an underdog, and their average margin in those matchups is 10.3 points. Oklahoma has shown strength in recent road wins over Tennessee and Alabama, which suggests stability. The Sooners are 11-5 against the spread in their previous 16 games as a home favorite and 7-4 against the spread in their previous 11 games as a favorite of at least 5 points. As our first pick for this matchup, the Oklahoma Sooners to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both offenses have struggled to produce clean and steady output over the last 5 weeks. Missouri scored with ease against a fading Mississippi State roster, but before that, the Tigers had trouble moving the ball against Vanderbilt and Texas A&M. They now face a defense ranked in the top 12 in scoring, total defense, and yards per play. Missouri's defense carries strong metrics of its own. The Tigers sit in the top 25 in scoring, top 10 in total defense, and rank 11th in yards per play allowed. They also limit explosive plays, holding the 18th spot in plays of 20 yards or more allowed. Oklahoma holds a top 35 mark in that category. Both teams have had trouble finishing drives. Oklahoma stands at 71st and Missouri at 107th in points per quality drive outside garbage time since Week 8. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Montana versus Montana State. We are looking dead ahead at the absolute biggest game on the FCS calendar, the 124th Brawl of the Wild. The stage is set at a deafening Washington Grizzly Stadium in Missoula, and the stakes literally could not be higher. We've got the undefeated, number 2 ranked Montana Grizzlies looking to complete a perfect regular season against their bitter rivals, the number 3 Montana State Bobcats. The books have the Grizz as the favorites at home, and honestly, the revenge tour narrative is scorching hot after what happened in Bozeman last year. Here is the breakdown for the spread. The Grizzlies have been an absolute buzzsaw this season, and a huge part of that is the sophomore leap of quarterback Keali Ayat. He isn't just managing games, he is dominating them with nearly 3,000 yards passing and 30 total touchdowns. The Grizz offense is humming, coming off that 63-point explosion against Portland State last week, and they have found a consistent ground attack with junior running back Eli Gilman moving the chains. On the other side, you have a Bobcats team that has had to reinvent itself a bit. They are 9-2 and dangerous, but their quarterback, Stanford transfer Justin Lamson, is walking into his first ever start in Missoula. Washington Grizzly is where opposing communication goes to die. Lamson has been solid since taking over, and Julius Davis is a threat out of the backfield, but this is a different animal. The Grizz defense, led by their veteran linebackers, feeds off that crowd noise. Montana has covered the number in 4 of their last 5, and with the bitter taste of that 34-11 loss from 2024 still lingering, I expect them to keep the foot on the gas for a full 60 minutes to secure that number 1 playoff seed. As our first pick for this matchup, the Montana Grizzlies to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Now, let's talk about the total, because we might see some fireworks. The narrative for this rivalry used to be cold weather and defensive struggles, but recent history says otherwise. The Grizzlies are averaging nearly 39 points per game, and their efficiency in the red zone with Ayat and Michael Wortham, who is a Swiss Army knife near the goal line, has been lethal. Montana State isn't coming in quietly either. They dropped 38 points on a stout UC Davis defense recently, and receiver Taco Dowler has been a big play machine for Lamson down the stretch. Both of these teams are top tier in the Big Sky for offensive yards per play. While the defenses are physical, the offensive execution on both sides has been sharper than the market gives them credit for. We are looking at a game script where Montana wants to score early to break the Bobcats' spirit, and Montana State will be forced to throw to keep up. I'm expecting a 35-24 type of game that clears the number comfortably. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. USC versus Oregon. This matchup in the Big Ten brings two programs that approach the season from different points on the arc of development. Oregon has moved through most of its schedule with ease, yet the team has shown some strain against stronger opponents. Several of its earlier conference wins looked significant at the time, but their value now feels lighter as those opponents faltered. The roster carries plenty of talent on offense and defense. Many players remain young, and the broader picture points to a group still growing into its ceiling. The coaching staff also dealt with injuries a week ago, and the offense might again miss a few starters, including freshman wide receiver DeCorian Moore if his recovery stalls. Even with a strong showing from quarterback Dante Moore in the previous outing and with the energy of a final home game, the setup hints at a contest that could tighten rather than widen. USC's road troubles under its current coach tend to surface most when the travel spans several time zones and leads to unfamiliar settings. Those problems often appear when the Trojans enter a game as the favorite. This situation differs. Their offense drives the team's identity, and the wide receiver tandem of Mackay Lemon and Jacoby Lane poses a real challenge for any secondary. The only passing defense that gave Oregon problems this season came from an opponent with a similar outside threat. USC ranks near the top nationally in passing success rate and expected points added per pass, yet the offense still leans on the run. That approach matches up with an Oregon defense that sits in the middle of the national pack against the rush. The underdog profile fits the Trojans in this type of setting. As our first pick for this matchup, the USC Trojans to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. USC's passing strength is clear, but its ground game has also been efficient. Oregon's defense allows a moderate rate of success against the run, which gives USC room to work on early downs and build its play-action game. Lemon and Lane can stretch the field and create space against the Ducks' secondary. On defense, USC faces a serious issue up front. The Trojans sit far down the national rankings in rushing success rate allowed. Oregon should find steady production on early downs, which can keep the offense ahead of schedule. Both teams carry the pieces to sustain drives and generate explosive plays, and the flow points toward a high-output evening. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Syracuse versus Notre Dame. It will be senior day in South Bend when Notre Dame hosts Syracuse on Saturday. The Irish have won 8 straight after losing to Miami and Texas A&M by a combined 4 points in back-to-back weeks at the start of the season. The playoff committee views the current run as enough to secure a place in the 12-team field. Syracuse sits in a very different spot. The Orange are 3-7-0 and have dropped 6 straight, including a 38-10 loss to Miami before their bye. They have not cleared 20 points during this skid and have stayed under 17 in their last 4. Notre Dame has grown used to being a large favorite. The Irish have been at least -21 5 times this season and have gone 3-1 against the spread in those games, including 2 games with a line of -31. Syracuse has only been a 20-plus point underdog once, which came in that most recent loss at Miami as a 28.5 point underdog. Spotting 5 touchdowns this late in the season looks harsh, yet the Irish may prefer a wide margin to keep their playoff position secure. They do not have a conference title game to strengthen their resume. Neither team has produced steady results against the number, so the size of this line stands out. Even so, Notre Dame has covered 10 of its last 14 as a double-digit favorite. In 7 games this season as a double-digit favorite, the Irish have won by an average of 23.1 points. Syracuse ranks 108th in scoring offense and 117th in scoring defense. The matchup suggests a large gap in quality, and the setting favors the home team as it moves toward a likely playoff berth. As our first pick for this matchup, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Syracuse has scored 18 or fewer points in 6 straight games. Losing Angeli plays a part, but it is not the only factor. They have gone under in 4 of their last 6 while facing a strong defense that stops the run. Notre Dame's offense remains steady, but the team has gone under in 5 of its last 6 because the defense has allowed 35 points in the last 3 games combined and 15 or fewer in 6 of the last 7. The numbers create a clear pattern on both sides of the ball. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.